Okay, let us look at how to draw the multiplier. You're basically going to start with your y-axis again. Your y-axis is going to show the total spending, right? And then the x-axis is going to show the total income, right? You're going to label this. So you label this as expenditure. And then you label this as what? As income, right? So you know, for your multiplier, you're supposed to have what we call your 45-degree line, right? So your 45-degree line is very important, right? So your 45-degree line, remember that your expenditure is your what? Is your E, and then your income will be represented as a Y. So this 45-degree line says to you that this side will be equal to the side, right? Or rather, my income is equal to my expenditure at the 45-degree line, right? Then you draw your consumption function, right? And then we'll name our consumption function aggregate expenditure. So here's our aggregate expenditure. Therefore, our consumption function will be equal to what? C plus I, right? We also need to have an income. You're just going to go down where they intersect, where your consumption function intersect with your 45-degree line. You're going to now draw your what? You'll have your Y over there, right? Let's say there's an injection into the economy, right? And as a result, our consumption function increases, right? Or shifts from AE to another consumption function, AE1, right? So AE1 will also move and cut the 45-degree line. And we'll say this is our E1 is equal to our C plus I, right? And then you also need to draw your what? Your income, right? And your income, will label it as Y1, right? Where your consumption function intersect with your what? Your 45-degree line, right? And then after that, you need to show the changes. There has been an increase in my spending, and there's also been an increase, or as a result of the increase in spending, this caused an increase in what? In income, right? So this is our what? This is the multiplier. And we also say a multiplier, or rather the multiplier effect, explains how the change in what? In spending causes a disproportionate change in what? In income, right? Again, we are saying the multiplier effect, right? Multiplier effect, right? Concept explains how an initial change in what? In spending, right? Causes a disproportionate increase in what? In income, right? So I wrote the definition. Okay, so here is our definition again. The multiplier effect, right, describes how initial small change in what? In spending causes a disproportionate change in what? In our income, right? And remember that when we calculate our multiplier, we actually denoted as a K, right? And there are three formulae for what? For the multiplier. The first one is what? Is K is equals to 1 over MPS, right? So in simple terms, MPS is that portion of income that we save. And then another formula is what? K is equals to 1 over 1 minus MPC. And MPC is that, we could just simplify it and say is that portion of income that we consume, right? Or you could say K is equals to change in income over change in spending, right? So the change in your income, you divide it by the change in your what? In your spending,